Who does the push-ups like no other? Sosocles. Who knows how to do CPR? Sosocles. Always when you start a straight up beat, straight heart throb. It's Sosocles. Sosocles. Sosocles.
So it's your boy, Sosocles. Today is a running workout. I'm going to take, before we get started, I'd like to say thank you for letting me back in your house. I'm going to take 30 minutes to get it done. I stick with 30 minutes workouts all the time. Lots of people say, hey, you can't do a lot in 30 minutes. And I'd like to point out that most of the time you see guys at the gym, 9 out of 10 minutes of their 3-hour weightlifting workout, they're standing around. And if you don't mess around, you can get so much stuff done. If you're a mom or a soldier and you're sensitive about how much time you have in a day, you'll be hard-pressed to find a day where you can't dedicate 30 minutes to fitness, and calisthenics lets you do it without any equipment. So this workout falls in with that. It still takes an hour in total because you have to get ready, drink some water, get your music stuff together. Then after, it's showering and getting dressed. Don't forget your watch, as you'll need some sort of timekeeper to keep track of 30-second and 1-minute intervals. I'll get to the why later. So I do what's called 60-30s. This is where I jog for 60 seconds and sprint for 30 seconds. I'm going to start off by running here, and then in a minute I'll be sprinting for 30 seconds when we get up on this big street ahead. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm sprinting. And we have a surprise guest appearance today, as you will see in a minute. And then after I'm done with these 60-30s, I'll walk for 5 minutes, I'll jog for another 5 minutes, then I start doing 60-30s again. So if you do the math, it's about 7.5 minutes for each 60-30 session, and there's 2 of them. That totals 15 minutes so far. Then we add in 5 minutes of jogging and another 5 in walking. That's 25 minutes. Looking back at it now, I guess I should have expanded my workout area to cover the full 30 minutes. So anyways, when I hit up a sprinting section, I get my torso really low, almost as if it's going to fall forward. Then I start to reel up. You want to, when you start out with your sprint, you want to be 45-degree angle with your torso and the ground. And the goal is moving your legs as fast as possible while maintaining a decent stride. You can begin to have your torso straight up after the first second into the sprint, called the burst. To make sure you have good stride, break 90 degrees with your legs when they get in the air. So when you kick your knee up into the air, it should make a 90-degree angle. Your legs should make 90 degrees. This forces your knees to get high in the air each time, obviously. If you've got good balance or have good ankles and aren't too heavy, running on your tiptoes works. But I think it's not realistic to run on your tiptoes for each 60-30. So I'm fine with running with most of the front half of my foot. I try not to use my heel, but this would probably change if we were dealing with worse terrain or carrying a lot of stuff. If you're a heavier guy, I'd get some of those shoe inserts just because you don't want to wear down your shoe soles. That's what I do. Not really necessary to have them in regular shoes, but for working out, that's definitely something you should get. If you're wondering what that string is in the lower left-hand corner, that's some of the string used to tie the camera down to my body in case it got disconnected. I'm not jumping rope while moving this stuff. And I didn't stop on purpose. That's just a really iffy intersection. I'm always afraid I'm going to get hit, so I got to like stop for a second. But I try to jog into place or something like that whenever I go do this stuff. And it's a beautiful sunny day. I'm really glad I started recording now. There's going to be some good shots later. Yeah, if you're running at night, your track should be well lit. It's not. I know it's kind of scary to run at night if you're a girl, because I was running up and down a bar district dressed up as a drag queen one year, and I got pretty creepy at times. Also, make sure the places you run in are pretty busy. I'm mostly running around or through a college campus, so there's going to be a lot of cars and people out, even towards the afternoon. But at night, I've seen and heard about some really weird stuff. I just so happened to start running right after the golden hour kicked off, so you guys get to enjoy some of this resplendent scenery. I'm going to point it out sometimes throughout the video. Okay, so I'm going to check my watch to see if 30 seconds went by. I'm also checking my speed. I've been known to go too fast at times, so I'm trying to slow down so no one calls the police. Hopefully, I'll get away with it this time. I know I've been burning rubber. Being a little bit too fast, you know. It's scary, the fast life. And everyone laughs at me when I talk about this kind of stuff, but it's important, you know. It's a big deal. I know guys that get arrested all the time for being too fast. Alright, so right here, I decided to really put the jets on. I know I've gotten fined a few times for being too fast, but if you don't use it, you lose it. I know they're just jealous because their cars can't even go this fast. Like, how can a human being move this fast? How? Sometimes, the amount of could a white girl can even doesn't meet the shock and awe of my awesome speed, you know? Like, I'm not trying to be egotistical. I wish everyone were this fast, but sometimes you get lucky, I guess. And, you know, the other day, and this stays between you and me, but Usain Bolt was watching me run on water in Chicago, and he was trying to ask me, he's like, how do you do that? And I say, well, it's really easy. I just, okay, so when I run, I slow down a little bit when I want to run on water, and I make sure my feet are flat. So I cover as much area as I can, kind of like a water spider or whatever they're called. And that's how I do that stuff, you know. That's how I run on water. It's not about speed. Marsupials think it's about speed, but oh, hey. No, no, not again. Do you see this? I know these guys are just trying to do their job, but how are we ever going to get faster than the speed of light? With these speedists always slowing me down. No, seriously, these guys saw I was wearing this stuff. They weren't even fazed once I explained that I'm just too lazy to take my pouches off, but I still needed somewhere to put my GoPro. I think that'd be okay if some dude was running around in a tactical vest, and I get calling the police if I was running around with like some kind of toy gun or anything else suspicious, but it's literally a piece of clothing. And it's okay because if you do anything exciting, you might end up in a situation like this. I know another YouTuber who goes in the public wearing ninja stuff, and she gets the police call on her. Well, actually, a lot of the time, I just don't respect the people who made the choice to be intimidated by someone's attire today. But, hey, the audacity of these soccer mom speedists being threatened by my tactical and case speed. It isn't that big of a deal. I'm happy with how speedy the police responded and how they handled it with grace and just let me go. Real professionals there. Reflecting lots of good credit and aspiring spirit for themselves, for the police department and all police forces for that matter. I'm happy I just didn't get searched or cuffed just trying to go out and run and shoot this video. Hopefully the rest of their day is safe and all that. They're going to let me go soon, and I get a pretty cool title out of this, I think. I just casually walk away. I don't want to start immediately sprinting away from them because I don't want to freak them out and get pulled over for suspiciously sprinting away as fast as I can. Anyways, now we're on the last two sprints. Here in a minute, I'm going to start the 5-minute walk. I usually picture trying to sprint towards something that I want to get to. Like the airsoft game kicked off and I want to run towards the enemy. Or there's a giant donut cheeseburger at the finish line, you know? Just something you really care about. Something deep down in your soul that screams, "Come to me, baby." And for me, that's fast food. I don't actually actually think about cheeseburgers. That's a joke. But I do try to motivate myself during the sprints, during the regular runs, whatever. Just make sure you're just shuffling towards something. But during the sprints, really try to get everything you can out of yourself, you know. Like, don't think about how fast you're going. Think about how fast your body's making you go, you know. Like, try to make it do whatever it needs to do to go faster, you know. Okay, so I'm going to start the walk here in a second. I'm going to cut that out because I don't think you guys really need to see it. Nothing that exciting. A dude named Cliff Young, he won this huge marathon around Australia. Pro athletes usually win it by using this method. Now, back then they didn't. They all got whooped by this guy. But it's a method. He used to herd sheep during thunderstorms all night or something like that. And it's called the airborne shuffling. You just swing your legs out in a circular motion and just keep moving forward. And no matter how out of shape or tired or whatever you are, you can always airborne shuffle, you know. That's what they called it in the Army. They probably call it like something else in the regular world where it actually was invented. So, but I'm just going to speed through to the end here. I'm just going to keep my jog up and like I said, and then start doing my 60-30s again. I'll slow down to point out some of the prettier scenery. This is some of the prettier scenery right here. This is a tech center. This is where I actually go to school when I show up. Just kidding. And then you can see out in the distance there, hopefully we're coming up on it sooner, and you can see the pink trees. And then on the left, that's like some giant indoor football stadium. I thought the sun was shining off the windows really nice there, so I put that in. And the grass looks a nice rose gold off to the right. And yeah, see, now we're really danger close to how pretty those trees are. They look like they're on fire almost. That's how red they are. And of course, I started a sprint right then. And I slowed it down here so you could really appreciate the scenery. I'm not actually going this slow, but like, I'm just jogging now, I guess. And it's just a really pretty sight. Kind of like a nature meets industrial thing. And I really thought this was pretty. I really love the golden hour during the day. It's the prettiest time of day. It's the time, if you make a video, you should shoot then, because the lighting's never better. You don't have to be a lighting expert, and you get that. It just looks really good, you know? Sunlight just gleams off the street like that. Some real awe-inspiring stuff there, you know? And there's some more of the scenery looking good, the God rays coming off the sun and all that. It looks really nice. And that's all. Hit previous to watch the last video, next to watch the next one, subscribe, and I'm going to get a Red Home link up one of these days. So see you at the Vatican and all that. Bye-bye.